Hello, my name is Tyler Hazlett. I'm here to talk about my latest piece, Self-Portrait of a Murder. I'm going to be talking about the making of the piece and the formal aspects of it, talk a little on the artist statement, and then I will get into some questions. So, crows are very prevalent in my life. There are multiple families of crows living in the trees around my house, and every morning I wake up to their squawking and their cawing, and I envy them a little. They're so free and they live such chaotic lives. They're smart, beautiful creatures, and while crows often symbolize transformation and fate, they are also thought to bring bad omens and death. And to me, crows represent what I want to be, and at the same time, the parts of me that I want to run away from. Self Portrait of a Murder is an exploration into identity and the fragmented way that I view myself right now. I utilized a combination of charcoal and pastel, and I created a dreary scene of crows circling in a desolate field, their congregation forming into a silhouette of a person against a large white moon. Birds are creatures that are constantly moving, and I wanted to create the feeling that this figure is not static in the scene, that he is only visible for a moment when these crows are in perfect alignment. I go through phases where drawing myself can be very difficult because a lot of my work revolves around myself and my self portrait. These periods are difficult for me artistically, and I wanted to approach the piece with the knowledge beforehand that this self portrait would not have me representationally present. I wanted to depict myself in an ever changing fashion to emphasize the complexity of my currently shifting identity. And I encourage viewers to look at their own self perception and join me in analyzing who we are. So, what discoveries, issues, and challenges came up in the making, and how did these discoveries, issues, and challenges impact the making? I set out to make the work thinking that I wanted it small. The piece is only 6 inches by 8 inches, and as I finished it, the biggest challenge was I didn't like the size anymore. I felt like it needed to be large, pretty large. To me, it doesn't feel complete because I feel like it needs to be life size, and that the figure of crows is the height of a real person. I also just didn't love necessarily how the composition came out. I think not the moon, but just where I laid everything out in the horizon line and everything, I would like to go back and change. What informed the work? So right now, I am having a little bit of an identity crisis, and I've gone through this period before where I don't like drawing myself, and this is one of those times. And I wanted to do something that reflected something that was talked a lot about during residency, during my critiques, and how the body does not need to be representational. So the idea of the form of the body being represented by a grouping of crows, a murder of crows specifically, was an idea that I thought of that I kind of latched onto. And that informed the work, mostly the idea of a body being present only for a moment in time as the birds sort of came together and for that split second formed this shape. Yeah, did you see intellect and intuition merge? If so, in what ways? I feel like, honestly, my intuition got the better of me at points during the making. I think there were choices that I made that now looking back on it, I would have changed. I think, like I said, the composition I'm not keen on, the size in particular. Um, I was like, in my gut, I was like, it should be small, because the concept of it being small came from I wanted it to be the same size as the piece that I made during residency, the body I wish I had. And this piece is an evolution of that piece. And I thought I could do something similar to my toned paperwork with these and have this be like the next grid. And I think this piece in particular doesn't work with that. I think it needs to be on its own, and I think it needs to be larger. And I realized that later. Yeah. Did you have to exercise critical thinking, problem solving skills? Not necessarily, I don't think. I think if I have more time, I will, just because I came to these realizations about how I can further the piece recently. So in terms of critical thinking and problem solving skills, I sort of just went with my gut a lot throughout the making process. I trusted my body completely, and just let myself take control without my mind getting in the way. And now that my mind is getting in the way, there are a lot of things that I would change. But on the other hand, I don't know if I actually will. I don't think I would change them in this piece. I think I would leave it like this and then just remake it bigger. And what did you do that you have never done before? Why? What was the result? I've never approached a piece knowing that there wasn't going to be a physical body. A lot of my work is reliant on the body and reliant on the form, and I use the body as a storytelling sort of tool. And so going into the piece actively knowing I'm not going to draw a body representationally was difficult, because I went into it mark making wise the same way I would a normal body, and then just erased a lot. And it was a weird, different process that I wasn't used to doing. How did you connect with your body in the making? What did you experience in consciously connecting with your body during the making process? I fully trusted my body in this making process. I didn't overthink. I didn't think about anything, honestly, in terms of the actual making. I played music and I just let myself bleed into the work. And it, I do this sort of thing a lot with my current art making. I know we've talked about this, but my body is a big part of my art making process, but sometimes I do still get in the way, and I wanted to make sure that with this piece I was fully letting my body take control, and I did enjoy it. I know I said a lot about the work. I do really like the work, how it came out. I just think now letting my body take control and letting my body be in the forefront of the art making process, I know how to do it better next time. And I think there's one thing that I don't think I talked about in this, which is the title, Self-Portrait of Murder. A group of crows is referred to as a murder of crows. And the title I went back and forth with a lot because this is an evolution of the body I wish I had that I made during residency. And that was sort of the title that I was going to bring forth with it. And I sort of sat with it, and I realized that with this piece in particular, the connotation of murder and death is very important because I'm currently in my life, I'm currently experiencing 4 deaths right now of different family members, and it's changing how I react with the world and who I am and the way I view life. And so that sort of bleeds into the ever-shifting nature of this figure and the crows coming together and forming this body. And it's sort of a connected meaning between, you know, the crows and what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so thank you for watching my artist talk, and have a great day.